Hi, the other day I downloaded and installed the FabFilter Pro package, and I immediately fell in love with this thing. And I sent out a tweet that I really loved the Pro Q2, the C2 compressor, and the Pro L limiter. That was the only thing I just looked at in about 20 minutes. But since then, I got to love the whole package. The Timeless is great as well, and I will get back and review these things individually. But especially the Pro Q2, somebody asked me, so what do you like? Well, first of all, I do love the Masterworks EQ coming with DP. However, sometimes there's things I can't do with it. And one thing is, here I have a recording and I'm soloing the acoustic guitar. And one thing with the acoustic guitar here, when it's being picked with the fingers, is you have some low rumble. And normally I would try to help out by putting a high-pass filter, a low-cut on it. However, that was one of the things that I just tried with Pro Q2. So let's open Pro Q2. One of the first thing that we can talk about, so let's open Pro Q2 and look at it. And one of the first thing that you can notice here, it's a big interface. You can change the interface and scale it between in these 4 stages from small to extra large. And let's just play some of this music. Now you can see here, there's a lot of bottom end going around here. So what we can do is simply just click on this line and change this by right-clicking the shape, make a low cut. And this is how we normally would see it. But where Pro Q2 is really shining is not only it sounds great and works great, it's the slope that we can make a 96 dB per octave slope, which is like it's going down right there at your crossover frequency. So let's listen to it here. And now we can move it up. So we are totally cutting all the rumble there. However, when we are cutting the rumble, we take away some of the warmth and the body of the guitar. You might have seen some Dave Pensado, some of his great YouTube videos, where he, around the crossover frequency, actually put another band and bump like that to get some of the bottom end and the warmth back into the instrument. However, that's not necessary here. Let's just delete this one, because even with a low-cut filter or high-pass filter, but low-cut as we call it in FabFilter, we can take the center and we can actually make it positive. So built into the low-cut filter, I can actually compensate and boost those frequency around the crossover frequency right there. I don't boost, which I would normally do with one of the others, or have to do a very narrow Q and try to find the place so I could bring back some of that warmth of the instrument. So I can do it right here. Now, let's go back and let's play a little bit again. One of the cool things that's amazing here with FabFilter Pro Q2 is also I can take my cursor. If I put my cursor down into the analyzer, you see now it starts to be slower. And we got these white lines now. And that means that I can take my cursor and simply go up here. And it becomes a line that I can drag right there. So I can smooth out these things. You see how it slows down and stays with the peaks? So I know truly where those peaks are in the instrument and I can find it. So normally you say, yeah, use your ears and listening to what sounds good. But if you're really looking for something extremely surgical, this is great. And move cursor out and it becomes totally live again. Okay. And not only this, what I can do, because we've been running this in normal stereo operation, the Pro Q2 can also run as left right, but we can also write it in a mid-side configuration, which means that I can have different EQ from my center and from my hard left, hard right. So what I will do, I will take this first low-cut filter I made and make that mid only. Then I'll make another one, low-cut, make the slope 96, and I will make this, bring it down there, and I'll bring this side only. So why do I do this? I want to make this a little wider. And as you know, all your low frequencies, they pretty much stagger up in the center, and I don't want them to mud out my sides. This is something that was amazingly or really extremely important way back when we were, and some of you are now pressing vinyl again, and that's where definitely low end in the sideband is very important to control. But I can make it here. I can take out a little bit more of the bottom end on my sides, and then I will add here as a sideband only. I want a little bit more presence. I want a little bit more high end in the guitar, but not in the center. But I want to put it here, high shelf, and maybe a 24 dB slope. So I'm only raising the high end on the side, which makes my stereo perspective a little wider. And I can raise it pretty high without making it sound too bright, because I still have the center having the same high end. I haven't touched it at all. I'm only touching the sides. And actually, let's bring that down and bring in a scope here. And let's look at the stereo perspective. You can see it widens up just a little bit. It's subtle, but that's where really what you want to do. I don't want any drastic thing. I just want to enhance the performance a little bit, make it stand out more. Not only in this case, it's fantastic, but also if I had another instrument sitting in the center or a vocal that I want to make some space for, I could add this high end just to the sides, leave space in the center for the other instrument or the vocal that's featured here without having to change my stereo perspective and move this guitar further right or further left to carve out in the stereo perspective. So this is just a fast walkthrough why I'm so excited about Pro Q2, and I can't wait to mix more acoustic music with this thing.